Boys,
how are we doing, brother?
I am in love. I'm in love with the team again. That's what it is, right? I haven't. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about this season, man. I haven't actually looked at the Premier League table once. I don't care, right? When stuff like this happens, I'm not looking at a table because that's not what my season is. That's not what our season is. I'm looking at the performance. I'm looking at the moments. I remember the moments. I don't remember. People are saying, "Oh, you had." Look, here's the thing. People on Twitter were saying, "Oh, you had the same start, 17 points in 7 games under Antonio Conte." Do you realize how insane that is to me at this moment right now? I'm like, we did? We were horrible. We were shit. Even our wins, we were shit, right? But now, just the way we play, the atmosphere, everything, I'm just in love with Tottenham again. It's such a breath of fresh air.
It is, Arian. I have to say, I'm going to watch Match Today when I get home tonight. And I think, where are we now? The 30th of September. I think I've watched Match of the Day more times this season than I did the entirety of last season because I just did not want to watch us. What stood out for you today?
What stood out for me today, I think player-wise, Mickey van de Ven. Mickey van de Ven. What a player. The best Dutch center back on the pitch without a shadow of doubt. And, you know, people talking about who's better, Romero or him. I don't, you know, is salt better than pepper? Probably, actually, but that's not the point. It's just about.
Brian, is salt better than pepper, Brian?
Oh, you're starting a whole debate there. That's a whole debate for another stream. That's the whole thing.
Arian, salt or pepper?
I would always say salt because you can get more spice from other things than pepper. But
okay.
Anyway,
we crack on.
The actual point is like it's not about who's better. It's just about them as a center back pairing, and it's magnificent. And it's such an upgrade from where last season. Just Van de Ven's calmness and pace, you know. And even though Romero is a little bit more rash and aggressive, he actually hasn't been very rash this season. He's still a much more aggressive kind of defender, and they complement each other so perfectly. And that's what's more important than saying who's better. Who cares, right? Because if one of them goes away and you have to have someone sub in, it's still going to be a downgrade as a whole defensive unit, and the defensive unit is what we have to look at. So I don't want to think about who's better or who's not better. Another individual that stood out for me was Pedro Porro. I think he was probably the second best player on the field, especially in that first half, and then obviously in the second half towards the very end of the game, especially Richarlison on the wing. I think that role suited him actually very well in the first half, especially causing Joe Gomez all sorts of trouble, and even testing Alisson, who was probably their man of the match today. He was fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, he was very good.
Saves in there.
Yeah.
And also weirdly, like you guys were saying, Højbjerg. A very, very impressive sub performance from him, and I think what it was, I was watching it with my dad, and it was kind of the same about going down the center so much, but a little bit different. Maddison, because of how creative he is and how goal-minded he is, when he gets the ball, he has a lot of, and just because of the way we play under Ange and what his role is, we love playing down the center. Ange really loves playing down the center. It's the most dangerous area of the pitch. We haven't been as wide as we were under the likes of Conte, for example, And he was taking a lot of shots from outside the box, and especially against Alisson in that form, it was just not working. Bringing in Højbjerg, he kind of settled us, and he was looking more to distribute the ball and play more and create more as a team rather than Maddison, who wanted to give that killer pass. But that really wasn't how we were supposed to approach it, especially against 9-man Liverpool. The casual way to look at it is to say, oh, look, they were 9 men. How the hell did we not break them down? But Liverpool, when you're training for a game against Liverpool, what you're thinking about is, look, they're going to give us space. They're going to press us. They're going to do all these sorts of things. And how are we going to exploit that? But when they get 2 reds, that gets flipped on its head. This was the most defensive game we played, probably even more than Sheffield United. We had to break down a low block, and that's probably not what was going through Ange's head during the training session. So it was a change of plans in the middle of the game. They were defending with their lives. 9 men in the box the entirety of the game. That's a difficult low block to break down when they have no intent on attacking. They're going for that point no matter what. And Højbjerg coming on and stretching the pitch, giving Porro that ability to give in that cross that we know he's so good at, is what obviously won us the game with Matip, tired legs and running for 96 minutes, just trying to get it out whatever he can. He's fatigued. It's high pressure. All it takes is one mistake. And how many years has it been us on that end? How many years has it been us? Finally.
You're right. And I want to go back to what you were saying about Van der Ven as well with Romero. That the central defense for me is the most important partnership that you have to get right. Obviously,
100%.
since Romero's come, we've obviously seen him with different players, not been able to find the right partner for him, and people will always say if you get if you can get the right partnership, it's like when people talk about Jan and Toby. I think Jan was absolutely brilliant before Toby, but then people said Toby elevated Jan, whatever. It's what Mickey's doing for Romero and Romero's doing for Mickey, isn't it? There's an understanding immediately, which it looks like they're not like Jan and Toby that played internationally and grew up with each other and whatever. It's incredible how quick this partnership has been formed, isn't it?
It's just, look, the sheer upgrade from last season to this, from Eric Dyer, Davinson Sanchez, and Clement Longley, who can't get a game at Aston Villa, to this, it's unbelievable. Just actually trusting my center backs. It's a feeling I'm not used to, right? And it's genuinely like, not being funny. Every time Liverpool, any team used to run at us, I would be terrified because I know Eric Dyer can just do something stupid. I know Davinson Sanchez can, even when we have the ball, I know they can just do something stupid. I don't feel that anymore. I feel confident every time they go back. Every time they even get close, I don't think, they might lose the duel. I think, okay, they've gotten close. They've gotten tight. We've got it now. It's just that confidence. And it's not that I feel that way that's important. It's that the players around them also all feel that way. They know, Mickey's got him. Cool, I can get into position now, wait for him to get the ball back, and we're gonna send another attack, another wave of attack. It's that confidence that it instills in everybody, not just the fans, but also the players. That's so crucial, that's so important. And it's been probably the biggest change, besides Ange's style, the biggest change has just been the immense upgrade in the quality of that back line.
Yeah. Still got anything?
Yeah. When the substitutions were made today, ARIAN, did you feel that Spurs lacked that creative spark to come off the bench and galvanise us? A bit like when Maddison and Son came off against Arsenal, it felt like, we've conceded the chance to try and win the game. And if the answer is yes, I think it will be yes. What two positions do you really want to see us try and fill in January? Bear in mind, as Brian mentioned before, we've got Johnson coming back and Bentancur as well. So what two positions, if you could fill them, would you look for in January?
And Brian, Phil. I think that we actually do kind of lack the creative spark right now. But I don't think it's as massive as a problem. I think it is a problem, but I don't think it's as massive a problem as kind of as being made out to be. Like you said, we have Brandon Johnson. We have, until I see him, I'm gonna say we have Jamie Donnelly. I think he's been brilliant in the academy. I don't see a reason why he can't step up in some games. And Brian Hill also. I think really out of all those players, I'm really intrigued to see how Hill does under Ange. I think his kind of technique is very well suited to the system. I'm curious to see how he does. So there's some unknown factors there, but at the end of the day, I think we do have a bit of a creative problem. If I could have two players, I think number one position for me is we need someone that, in case, God forbid, one of our center backs get injured. God forbid. We need someone there because our season can fall apart right there. That's number one priority for me. Someone like, I think we're looking at Lloyd Kelly from Bournemouth. I would take him in a heartbeat. Just someone who can step in that role for either Van de Ven or Romero if we need it, because that is where our season can fall apart. And then number two, I would probably go for a right winger instead of a Maddison replacement, because I think Kulusevski can play where Maddison plays to an acceptable level, or even Lo Celso. So I think we've got relatively enough cover, but what we don't have is someone down that right-hand side that can kind of bring an extra bit of dynamism. I know Brennan can do that, but he played down the left, and I think he was very good there. And I don't see a reason for him to change. And I guess we have Solomon, but I would like to see someone like Loriente, who I think we got linked with a little bit ago. I think he's a fucking magnificent player because I've seen Sassuolo, I've seen him. He's one of those wingers, like kind of Son, like Diaby, like just there's some players, there's some wingers especially that you look at and they've got the tools to be in that next level, in that top level, and they just need that chance to show it. And I think Loriente is the one in the game right now that is like that. Maybe next to like a Pedro Neto or something. Just there's some players out there, some wingers that just are ready for that next step in their career. And I think those are the players that we need to look for. And I think him or Neto or someone down that right-hand side would be probably my number 2 priority.
One last question. Do you love Tottenham?
Fucking love Tottenham. I'm talking till I die. And as always, we go on undefeated in the league. Come on, you Spurs!
Well said, Arian, brother. I will speak to you very, very soon, my man.
See you guys.
See you later, brother.